Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, the scandalous, sultry, and untold truth of country music's hottest secret love story. There are duets that shake the charts. And then there are duets that set the world on fire. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers were more than just musical partners. They were a storm of chemistry, a tease of temptation, and a whisper of what could have been. But behind the curtain of rhinestones and hit songs, was there a love story they never admitted? Or was the truth far too seductive to ever reveal? From the very first time their voices intertwined, the world leaned in closer. The way Kenny looked at Dolly on stage. The way Dolly laughed, playfully, breathlessly, when Kenny threw one of his signature smirks. There was something electric in the air. Something fans couldn't explain, but desperately wanted to believe. And while they always claimed to be just friends, the rumors told a different story. It all began in the late 70s when Dolly was at the peak of her stardom and Kenny was fast becoming a legend in his own right. Their careers collided like magnets, opposite in style, but somehow impossibly perfect together. When they released Islands in the Stream in 1983, it wasn't just a hit. It was a cultural earthquake. The sensual energy between them on stage had people questioning if the song was more than just a duet. Was it a confession? Backstage, whispers began. Kenny, with his smoky voice and silver fox charm, was known for being more than a little smooth with the ladies. Dolly, sweet as honey but sharp as a switchblade, wasn't about to let anyone box her in. Yet around each other their guard seemed to melt. Friends close to the pair said their dressing room doors were often left ajar, voices hushed, laughter echoing late into the night. There were rumors of private jam sessions that turned into candlelit dinners, and moments where their hands lingered just a second too long. It didn't help that they refused to deny the speculation. In interview after interview, when pressed about their chemistry, they'd smirk, joke, and dodge the question. Dolly would flash that irresistible smile and say, "Kenny and I flirt. We can't help it." Kenny would chuckle and add, "If I had $1 for every time someone asked if we were lovers, I'd be richer than I already am." They played the mystery like a fiddle, keeping everyone guessing and craving more. Insiders say the tension between them was as real as any love affair, even if they never put it into words. Some say it was an emotional affair, the kind that simmers without boiling over. Others insist there were weekends, getaways no one ever confirmed, but no one denied either. One particularly juicy tale claims the two were spotted on a private yacht in the Florida Keys, alone for days, unreachable by phone or press. When they reappeared, both looked radiant and completely unbothered by the world's curiosity. Their closeness affected their relationships. Kenny had been married 5 times, and Dolly's marriage to Carl Dean remained famously private. But those close to Carl say there were times he questioned Dolly's connection to Kenny. There were moments when Dolly would leave for long trips with no explanation, returning with a subtle glow and stories of studio sessions that didn't quite add up. And Kenny? He once hinted in a late-night radio interview that there was one woman I always wondered about, someone I never crossed the line with, but always wanted to. Still, they insisted they never acted on it. But maybe that's what made it even more intoxicating. The almost, the could have, the should they have? Theirs was a fire they fed with laughter, songs, and stolen glances. And sometimes, not acting on desire keeps it burning hotter than any flame ever could. Then came their final duet, "You Can't Make Old Friends." It was a love letter to their years together, filled with aching nostalgia and heartfelt emotion. When Kenny looked at Dolly during that performance, his eyes shimmered with something deeper than friendship. And when Dolly broke into tears after his passing in 2020, it wasn't just grief. It was the echo of a chapter that had quietly closed. And the days that followed his death, Dolly posted a video where she called Kenny her soulmate. She said, "I loved him as a friend, but I think we loved each other deeper than that. We just never went there." And that was it, the line that sent fans into a frenzy. Was this a quiet confession? A final truth told in the wake of goodbye? The world will never know the full truth. But what we do know is this. Some love stories don't need to be declared. They live in songs, in shared glances, in the stories we tell and the ones we don't. Dolly and Kenny's connection defied labels and expectations. It was raw, real, and wrapped in enough mystery to keep the world watching for decades. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Because in a world full of fleeting flings and public scandals, Dolly and Kenny's story remains the ultimate tease. A slow dance under stage lights, A duet that blurred the lines between harmony and heat. So was it love? Was it lust? Or was it something even deeper? Here at Top Facts we'll let you decide. But one thing's for sure, when Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers sang together, it wasn't just music. It was magic. And somewhere, in between the lyrics and the looks, their truth still lingers, untamed, unspoken, unforgettable.